Hello and good morning, good evening, welcome back. Welcome to Cloud and DevOps Batch 58. So before I start the session, I just want to give a quick recap on what's being covered in the previous session. Previous session, we discussed about how can we write, the Prometheus metrics as a part of the infrastructure management. And for that, we created a role and we did everything. And also just before the start of the session, I started the vault and I unsealed it. And then I started my infrastructure job. And my infrastructure job has to kick off, and I should be able to access my front end. Now let me try to access my front end, and I should be able to get the front end response. Okay, and I should also be able to add the expenses. For example, EMI. Perfect. Okay. Now the application is working. Now the goal is, okay, so let me try to show. In the last session, what all we did, okay, we implemented the Prometheus service discovery. That means Prometheus can dynamically go and look whom all it needs to be monitored. And whom it is monitoring, it is only monitoring the instances that is having tag as monitor as yes. So if you come here in this account, Prometheus is not having the tag monitor as yes. But if you look at this front end, it has monitor as yes. And that's the reason it should be able to get the metrics. Okay. Now I also want to see whether the Prometheus is showing up the metrics or not. Okay. So go here and try to access the metrics. So where is my Prometheus server? Go here and try to access it. Okay, come here up. You should be able to see the three nodes. Okay, MySQL and all of them. And if you want to see from last 1 minute, 5 minutes, it's also showing to show you as well. Okay, it is a pre-QL and it's telling you from last 5 minutes it is up. All right. But this information is something I didn't like. Okay, I want something more. Okay, so again, I always keep on saying configuring Prometheus is not a big deal. Using Prometheus is a bigger subject. Okay, so I want to spend some time talking about that. Okay, so let's try to deep dive Prometheus. Okay, so deep diving Prometheus. Let's start on it. Okay, so deep diving Prometheus. Okay, so somewhat theory. We'll start with some sort of theory. Okay, okay. Any questions, anyone, before I proceed? Questions? Am I audible? Can someone confirm me? Devi, am I audible? Devi, anyone?
Yes, Manoj, you're audible.
Okay, all right. Any questions, anyone? Did you get a chance to practice what's been covered so far? Practice is highly needed, guys. Okay, so if you have not practiced, just make sure you practice them. Practice is very important. Okay, all right, let's get started. Okay, so what I want to do is let's try to understand more Prometheus. So there are some important definitions that we need to understand when you're dealing with Prometheus. Okay, so let's get started on Prometheus. So as a part of the Prometheus, let's try to get any sort of concepts. So first go with the data model. What the data model says. Okay, Prometheus fundamentally stores all the time series databases. Again, time series database. Okay, so the data that is offered by Prometheus is a time series data. Okay, what is the information at this particular time? This sort of data is called as a time series information. And to store the time series information, you need to have a time series database. Okay, Prometheus inbuilt comes up with a time series database. Okay, so but there are some okay other time series databases as well. So time series databases. Okay, Prometheus comes up. mm, But outside companies, if you want to save the data outside of Prometheus, for example, Prometheus limitation is it can't hold the data more than 30 days. But if you cannot hold the data for 30 days, what is the solution? For example, if I ask HFC share price, you cannot tell to customers, okay, I only have last 30 days of data. I cannot show more than 6 months. No, no one accepts it. Okay. With Prometheus, there is a limitation. So if that is the case, okay, a lot of customers, okay, I mean, particularly in the share market, they use a time series database called as Graphite. Graphite is also okay, another enterprise level is also widely used in the financial sector. Okay, but for us, it really doesn't matter. Okay, and whenever you're using the time series database called the Graphite, they also use Tableau. Again, it falls under the category of data engineering to display the data. Tableau is a dashboarding tool which can be utilized well by the data engineer. Okay. Yeah, that's it. No, nothing much about it. And what else do we learn? What else? What else? What else can be seen here? Again, matrix is a scalar data that is also referred as a time series database. Okay. So time series database is a NoSQL database. Okay. So time series database is a NoSQL database. Okay, so it's not dependent on number of rows, number of columns. This record has number of rows and this record has number of columns. No, there is no such reservation. So time series DB is a NoSQL database. A lot of time series databases are there. In fact, even AWS also has its own time series database. I think it's called as a, I think I'm not sure. Time. This is Amazon Time Stream is a fast scalable serverless time series database. Okay, so if you can also use this stream to save the needed time series database. Okay, so another important thing, there are two varieties of data. Okay, metrics and vector. Okay, so let me try. Okay, Prometheus offers vector data. Okay, what is a vector data? Okay, a two-dimensional data is called as a vector. Okay, what is a scalar versus vector? Okay, scalar is a one-dimensional data. That means what is your height? 5 feet 8 inches. Okay, what is your weight? 80 kgs. This is called as a one-dimensional data. When you're talking about vector, what is speed? Kilometer per second, 60 kilometer per second. Okay, so what is the momentum? 80 kilometer per second. So what is the rate of growth? 3 inches per second. So these two-dimensional data is referred as a vector. Okay, so up is the mid. Okay, so this is nothing but the this is nothing but okay. Prometheus offers a two-dimensional data, so all the metrics that are offered by Prometheus is referred by vector. Okay, so you can also see the same information here. So here you can see at any point of time it is telling you what is the information at any particular time. So this is the time, by the way. At this particular time, what is the time? Okay, it is what it is telling. So that is one thing to know. And what is the types? Metric types. Okay. The Prometheus client libraries offer this. Okay. So majorly there are two varieties of metrics. Okay. So counter versus gauge. Again, these are mathematical terms. Even in schooling, we would have seen it, okay, in Prometheus. Data types, okay. Counter, we use this multiple C, okay, across the Prometheus. Counter versus gauge. A data which keeps on growing is called as a counter, okay. Data that keeps on increment is referred as counter. Okay, for example, you take utilization of the network bytes. That keeps on increase, right? For example, you ask time. Time keeps on increase, right? And it cannot come back. Days, okay, they go forward and they cannot come back. Okay, values that keep on increment are referred as counter metrics. Okay, so what is your height? Height is a counter metric because it keeps on increment. Okay, once you grow, you cannot come down, right? Okay, for example, you take gaze, share price. Okay, so share price, it can go up and it can come down. And CPU performance, it can go up and can go down. And memory utilization, it can go up and it can go down. So metrics that can go up and down are referred as hmm, gaze metrics. Okay, so metric that can go up and down are referred as all right, two-dimensional data, one-dimensional data. So remember this, we are going to use this counter versus gauge across, not just here in Prometheus, anywhere, everywhere, when the time that you deal observability, you see these two metrics quite often, and these are quite mathematical terms only. Okay, for example, so where is my Prometheus? Go to the Prometheus. Okay, let's see any node level node network level metrics. Okay, bytes received bytes, right? This value keeps on grow. This value keeps on grow because the number of bytes that are taken, it's going to be a cumulative effect, so it keeps on grow. So this kind of reformation is referred as a this kind of information is referred as counter. Okay, so that is one thing I want to talk. It's just a theoretical information to know. Next is job and instances. So we already see this every time we write some configuration. So here, go to the tools automation. So inside the tools automation, go to the roles. Okay, inside the Prometheus, inside the template, inside the Prometheus.yaml. So every set of configuration that you create is a job. Okay, so you can have a number of jobs. Okay, so in Prometheus terms, an endpoint that you can scrape is referred as an instance. So job is nothing but defining, okay, what to scrape and what is okay. So what to job, you can define multiple instances of jobs, and job is going to define whom to be scraped, and whom are we scraping is nothing but the instance. Here in our case, EC2 instance is nothing but the instance. Okay, so instance and job are two different things that are going to put forward everything. And again, at enterprise scale, okay, even Prometheus has a limitation of it cannot store more than 30 days of data. Okay. Okay, but there are some options that can help you tuning to store the data that is more than 30 days, but the size of the data and the amount of the length or the retention of the data increases on Prometheus, it outperform. Okay, the performance would be very bad. So whenever you have a use case where you want to store the data more than 30 days, okay, so typically even Prometheus also offered as a service Okay, you can fully go with this, a fully managed Prometheus monitoring service. Even Amazon is offering Prometheus as a service. You can even consume it, but I don't want to take it as a scope because there the learning scope is very less. So I don't want to get into that. All right. So next is mm, mm, go to Prometheus. Mm, all right. Mm, 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 mm. So any querying? Okay. So here again, it offers a lot of operators. If you want to add two values, you can use plus, minus, multiplication, division, module, which is nothing but the dividend. Okay, what is the power of it? You can get that. Again, we discussed about it. Difference between two scalar. Okay, difference between an instant vector and a scalar. Okay, what is a vector between this? Also something. And if you want to do some binary calculations like greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, greater than, less than, okay, not equal to, okay, two equal to is equal to, and exclamatory mark is equal to not equal to, and these symbols you already know. And yeah, that's it. And again, it also offers a lot of functions just like Terraform. So if you want sum, or if you want average, okay, or if you want a mean, or if you want a group of the values, or if you want to know the count of certain values, you can do that. These are also something that it offers. Mm, Anything else? Mm, mm, Just thinking. And again, it offers a lot of functions. Let me select this. Okay, if you want an absolute value or if you want a ceiling value, 10.05. So select the value that is close to the next available integer. Okay, so if you want to know floor, 10.6, I only want to select the lower value. So you can do a lot of logarithm of 10, log of 12. Okay, these are the 6th standard maths, log of 2, log of 10. So these kind of information, this function I was telling you, right? So seal 1.49, it's going to ping you the next available integer. Seal 1.79, it is going to print the next available integer. So for example, if you go to the floor of 1.49, it pings you the lowest nearing integer. Okay, so we might end up using this. Okay. Mm, all right. So maybe I can show you with some small example. Okay, so maybe what we can do is node. Mm, Any memory related metrics? Okay. Now, if you ask, it's gonna show you the list of bytes, but it is showing in bytes. I don't want bytes to bytes to KB. I want to send the information. So 1024, it gives you the information in KB. Now I don't want a KB. I want in MB. KB divided by MB 1024. That gives you the information in MB. No, no. I don't want it in MB. I want it in ZB. You can do that. Okay. So it's telling 0.32 ZB, whichever is available. All right, and you can also go here and look at the graph, and this is what it is showing. But the graphs that are offered are quite bad. Okay, these are not looking really good, right? So consider Prometheus only like a data source, okay, which is going to offer the data. But how to display the data? Prometheus is not a great tool. Okay, so Prometheus dashboarding. Okay, so you cannot store more than 30 sets of data. Prometheus dashboarding is very bad. So I want some very nice graphs. So beautiful graphs. I want to elevate it by using something called as a Grafana. Okay, so if you are from the data engineering background and if the data is related to data science or data engineering, Tableau is another option, by the way. Okay, this is an enterprise grade tool. Tableau software, okay, is an American interactive data visualization software focus on business intelligence. Okay, it was founded in this. Okay, typically Tableau is majorly for preparing the dashboards. Okay, during COVID-19. whatever the health information that it is being displayed, everything is a Tableau. Okay, so this is not a great way, by the way. We cannot use Tableau because this is a paid tool, and at the same time, it is morely focused on data engineering segment. But infrastructure segment, we can end up with Grafana. Grafana is a product from Grafana Labs. It's a very nice platform. Okay, so Grafana is just a dashboard visualizer. Grafana is a dashboarder, and using this, we can display metrics from any data source of your choice. Okay, in our case, to extract the data, Grafana. Okay, Grafana goes and gets the metric. Prometheus goes and gets the metrics, and using Grafana, we are going to display the information that is being scraped. Okay, so I wanna use this. Okay, and even in the Go, this tools also it is telling the same. So I would like to end up using that only. All right. So so for setup Grafana, I would need an instance. Mhm. I would need an instance to install Grafana. Okay, so another instance we are going to provision. So along with Prometheus, okay, along with Prometheus, I would also need Grafana. Okay, I would need one more instance. There I'm going to install. Okay, I'm going to install Grafana on the top of it. Okay, so this is the info. So Grafana. Okay, I need a server, and this guy goes and gets the metrics, and Grafana fetches the information from Prometheus and displays it. So user, anyone who wants to get the information, mhm. So user, okay, anyone who wants to access the information, okay, so he just goes and get the information. Okay, so we are going to provision access to the people who are interested in gaining access to Grafana, and that's where we are going to deal it. All right, and to install an instance of Grafana, we would need an instance. So for that, we need to provision a server. Okay, so let's deal it. Now, provisioning the infrastructure is a pretty straightforward. All we do is come here. That's all. Okay, I want to install Grafana, and t3.small would be sufficient. I think Prometheus works on 3000 port number. Let me ask internet. Grafana port. Yeah, 3000 is a port number. So Prometheus, I would like to need an instance. So I don't have to do anything. All I need to do is tool automation. Okay, that's it. All I need to do is just come here and run the tools infra job. The moment I run the tools infra job, it is going to create me the needed infrastructure for the Grafana. Once the Grafana instance is in place, I can go with Grafana installation. Okay, how can I install Grafana? So Grafana install. I think Grafana offers, okay. So Grafana, I'm on Red Hat machine. Come and select this and install Grafana on RHEL or Fedora. RHEL stands for Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Fedora is a parental. Mm, Okay, so Grafana also offers enterprise edition along with OSS open source. So if you want open source edition, you need to pay. So if you want paid version, okay, you need to pay. Mm, all they're saying is if you want this, okay, the repository is the same, but the installation yum install Grafana Enterprise. If you don't want, oh, if you just want open source, you can say yum install Grafana. Okay, so first you need to download the GPG. So GPG key is just like to prove the authenticity of the package that you have downloaded. Okay, so how do you know that the package that you are downloading is from the package that is supplied by the Grafana? You don't know, right? So to enable the authenticity, you are using the GPG check, and this is the RPM file that they are giving. And once it RPM is available, just Grafana install, DNF install Grafana, and that's all. And just system control start. Okay, that's going to give you the needed thing. So it's a very straightforward thing. So let me go ahead and try to create mm, Grafana. So let me try to copy this. Grafana. Mm, so app user. So I just want to create, I want to run it through. I don't think, do I really need? I don't think it's needed. So in the templates, Prometheus.yaml, remove this. And this service, I don't think this is also needed. So here, I just want to say this as grafana.repo. Again, you don't have to download the JPG key, that's fine. Okay, so grafana.repo. Done, Grafana, that's it. uh, Base URL is equal to RPM, done. And G SSL cert, I don't want. SSL verify, I don't want. GPG check, I don't want. Okay, I just want to come make it a GPG check is equal to 0. Okay. Uh, Anything else that I can remove? Okay, a repo GPG check I don't want. Okay, so enabled is equal to 1 means this repository is going to be enabled if someone tries to download. Okay, that's it. And GPG check I deliberately made it as 0. That's fine. Next, configuring the host name. Okay, and tool name done Grafana. Set prompt, copy the repo URL, right? I don't need to set this user because it's an RPM. Next, first I want to copy the repo. Configuring the repo. Okay, then destination. Like, okay, and where do I need to keep it? I need to keep it in XE systemd, XE systemd, not systemd, XE yum.repos.d grafana.repo. That's all. Okay, no one or nothing. Next is install Grafana. Okay, install Grafana. Done. Uh, so it's going to be a DNF, built-in.dnf, and what is the package that you want to install? Grafana. Okay, because this is the package name, right? What is the state? Okay, install Grafana. That's it. First, let me see whether it is coming up or not. Then I'll act accordingly. Mm-hmm. Okay, now I also need a CM job. So I just have to go to Go CD pipeline, and in the Ansible tools, just like Prometheus, I also need to have a grafana.yml. Done. Okay, and I would like to call it the grafana.cm, and cm count. Done. Wall token, this one, and name of the tool is grafana. Done. Intra. Okay, I think the rest of the things, it's fine. So go CD pipelines, auto push. That's it. Now you come here. I think you should be having the infrastructure now. Okay, I think it's still creating. Why it's taking this much time? Yeah, you can see Vault, it's initializing. I think it is screwing something. Oh, damn. Why? I know I did the mess. Let me stop for the damage. Okay, done. Why just adding has created a chaos? Tools automation, just variables. Uh, even last time I did the same mistake. Uh, okay, all right. I didn't change the name, so Terraform got confused. So that's the reason you should have a apply controlled women. Yeah, let me do that. Okay. So what I can do is go CD pipeline. We can go through some approval process. Okay, we'll see that. But for now, let's try to rerun it. What all it has screwed? I don't think it has screwed the real infrastructure. I think my infra should be up. My vault. Okay, vault is there. Go CD is there. Prometheus is there. Okay, Grafana is yet to provision. So let's run it. Mhm. Done. Go to tools to infra create. Let's wait for it. Let's wait, guys. All right. Now I should be able to see Grafana instance should be operational. Yeah. So it has created Route 53 record was destroyed, so it was created. Okay, perfect. Uh, apply perfect. All right. Now I should be able to see Grafana instance. Let me see whether I'm able to connect or not. All right. So SSH2. Okay. All right. So yes, this instance is up. Now I would like to run the CM job. Now since the infra is up, now CM job makes sense. Okay. Earlier the infra itself is not there, so obviously it will fail. Right. Perfect. It's got to good. So let's see. See, I'm not starting the service. All I'm expecting is so whether it is really provisioning it or not. Okay, whether it is installed or not. So once it is installed, I'll do it. But first I want to see what is the service to use and all because I don't have an information on it. Okay. All right. So it's failed, and the reason for the failure is line number 5, column number 1, roles tool name. Okay. All right. I know the answer. Go to the rules automation. Go CD pipelines inside the Ansible tools. Prometheus, Grafana. So Grafana CM, tool CM. Tool name is equal to this. Okay. Inside the tools automation, inside the roles. Grafana. Can you see this? So it is calling the role Grafana, but here the name that we have given is incorrect. So that's the reason it says it's not able to find. It's Grafana, not Grafana. All right. So push the code. Now rerun it. See, when you are the one who set up things, you should know easily what are the mistakes. Okay. So along with me, if you are practicing on what I am teaching, you can easily make things. Okay. So let's run it. Uh, At least it has not failed. Perfect. It is installing. All right, let's install. I just want to know what is the name of the service because I don't know whether it is yum install system control service or not. Okay. I think it's Grafana underscore service or Grafana service. I don't know. So, okay, perfect. Sudo system control ps-ef graffer Grafana. Okay, so sudo. So I think it's okay. It's completed. Okay. Sudo systemctl status Grafana. Grafana underscore server. I don't think. Yeah, Grafana underscore server. Grafana hyphen server. Okay. So let me try to start that as well. Task. Okay. Start Grafana. Grafana. Enabled as true. Okay. You really don't need the daemon reload. Perfect. Now the service would be coming up. Now try to rerun it. Okay. Now the configuration management is also something we are doing through Ansible. Okay. Even tools, whatever the tools that you're setting up in the project, we are setting up through Ansible. Okay. That's what I want. All right. Perfect. Let it load. Okay. It's going to offer very out of the box. So let me show you. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now you should be able to access it. I think it's 3000, right? So let's come here and try to access 3000. And again, you need to, okay, can you see this? So it's also working. Now, yeah, perfect. Now Prometheus should be able to talk to this guy on 3000. Okay. So, so yeah. So let me try to sign in. So by default, it's admin only. So the default credentials of most of the open source tools are admin. Now, once you configure, I'm just setting the password. I'm setting the password as password and the password as password. Okay. So it's going to offer very nice dashboards, guys. Okay. So for example, here, if I just say up, okay, it's not giving you some nice information, right? Now, Grafana has a lot of options. So here, I clearly told you there should be some integration between this Prometheus and Grafana, right? So how we made the integration between the instances and the Prometheus, okay? Because to the instances, we told that, okay, this is the guy, you need to go and get the metrics. So likewise, for Grafana also, we need to go and mention that these are the metrics, okay? Now, you need to tell to Grafana, hey, Grafana, your source of data is Prometheus. Prometheus is getting the metrics from somewhere that Grafana don't care. All Grafana cares is, okay, where is the data? Tell me. Okay. My job is to present the data. You tell me where the data is. I'll get the metrics for you. Okay. So go to administration, mm, connections. Yeah. Add a new connection or add a data source. You can see add a new connection. How many data sources is it support? It supports Google Analytics, it supports Alert Manager, it supports Apache DB, it supports Kafka, it supports Azure, it supports AWS CloudWatch, okay, it supports DynamoDB, okay, it supports a lot. Okay, if in your organization, if you are having data and if you want to project it, Grafana is a good point of source. Okay, so I would like to create a data source and would like to create a data source as Prometheus. Okay, and the name of the data source is Prometheus, and you need to mention again, there is no concept of authentication between Prometheus and Grafana. Okay, as I mentioned in the beginning itself, the philosophy of Prometheus is it gets the metrics and presents it. There is no sensitive information and there is no need of authentication. That's the philosophy, by the way. Okay, so if you want to restrict access, just simply block the port. Okay, that is the easiest way, but there is no point, by the way. Okay, so go here and get the IP address of the Prometheus, private IP, not the public. It's a 9090, right? Okay, because Prometheus works on 9090, I'm just saying it. Okay, now there is no authentication involved between, so I don't want to touch anything. All I want to care is whether it is working or not. Just save and test. Okay, that means Grafana went and contacted Prometheus and it's able to got the response successfully. Okay, so do a 3 times test. Perfect. Now you have the data source. Okay, now whenever you want to create any sort of dashboard, just come here. I would like to add a visualization. That's it, using this particular Prometheus. Now, whatever the queries that we are running or whatever the queries that we are going to build here, PQL, Prometheus query languages, or whatever the queries that the data source that you have configured. Okay, you can have a number of data sources. I'm going to mention Prometheus. So all the Prometheus related queries, you can run it here. So here builder code is there, right? Select the code and run the query. Okay, now run the query. Now it tells you when the system is up, when the system is down, all these things. Okay, you can save it, and I would like to name this as uptime, system availability, apply. Now I don't want these many information. I am only interested about the instance name. Okay, so what I can do is I can come here. There is an option called the ledger. So here you can mention custom and just supply the label name. I am interested about instance name. Okay, now run the query. Now it just tells you what all the information that it has. Now, if you are not interested about this, okay, duplicate. Okay, these many graphs that it offers. Okay, you can also go with bar chart, but bar chart doesn't make sense. You can go with stat, whether it's up or not. Typically, 1 means up, 0 means down. Okay, so that's the reason it's showing. Now, there is also an option called as a color mapping. Mm, Where is that? Yeah, you can mention the color mapping as well, not value mapping. You can mention 1 means I don't want 1 0 because who gives you KT? Okay, so I can mention when it is up, I want to give a green color. When the value is 0, I just want to keep it as down. And the color that I want to select as a red. That's it. Now it also based on number of instances. Right now you only have 3 front ends, 1 front end, 1 back end. But down the line, if it increases, it's gonna show you what's going on. Okay, it's not really showing the service status, it is showing the system status. Okay, so let me go ahead and try to turn off my front end. Okay. I'll just stop it just to demonstrate whether it is really working or not. Right, it is not in the running state. Now let's wait. Okay, now I'd like to show the information of the last 5 minutes. Okay, let's wait. Right now it is showing the information. Okay, let's wait, refresh. So keep in mind, Prometheus goes and gets the metrics from the offered instances for every 15 seconds. Okay. So can I increase it? Can I decrease it? Yes, you can. So that's where the scrape configuration is available. So you have an option inside the Prometheus config. That's where we have defined the scrape configuration as 15 seconds. And if you want to increase, okay, I don't want my Prometheus to go that much busy going and getting the metrics for every 30 seconds. You can also say that, okay, just go for 30 seconds. Yes, you can do that. Okay. Mm, Oh, all right. Damn. So why did I even turn off it, man? See, this is not really the service status, right? It is a system status. So what I can do is I can just init 0. My front end is down. Okay. Now my front end is down where my node exporter is not going to offer me the metrics. Okay. Now wait for 15 seconds. It should show the C is down. Can you see this? And if you want to see since when it is down, it is also saying you, okay, it is down from this particular time. Okay. So that's where you can have all of them ready so that you can have most of them can grant you whatever is needed. Okay. So all I want is we need to make sure, okay, we want to do things through, uh, what do you say? You need to have, see, to use Grafana, you should have some user journeys. Okay. Mm, User journeys are what we want. Okay. So to play with, we should have some goals. And these goals are referred as user journeys. Okay, a user journey is nothing but a business goal that needs to be projected. Okay, if you're talking about YouTube, number of plays per second, number of ads that are running, okay, these are all the user journeys. Okay, whether the service is up or not, how many minutes the service is down, these are all the user journeys. So in our case, in our case, we are targeting, okay, and what are these golden signals of, sorry, traffic. Okay, for any sort of observability platform, these four are very must. Okay, you should have the information that should show what is the how many requests are being coming up, what is the latency. Okay, that's fine, these many requests are processed, what is the latency of the traffic. I also want to know out of the traffic how many of them are errors. Okay, and I also want to know what is my CPU, what is my memory, what is my disk utilization, what is the disk IO. Okay, what is the saturation. Okay, is also something we should be having it. Okay, this point we already discussed it. Okay, so let me go over to Google golden rules. Okay, so we already discussed this, but as a part of the four golden rules of SRE, okay, latency, you should know what is the latency of your application, how end users are seeing the behavior. So would you do the payment in Flipkart or Amazon if the payment is taking 3 minutes of time? No, right? Instead, you choose some other platform because we are busy. Traffic. At any point of time, you should have information on what is the average traffic right now. How many number of requests are coming up in last 1 hour. Out of that, how many of them are errors? Okay, how many 200 errors are there? How many 300 errors are there? How many 400 errors are there? How many 500 errors are there? What is the system utilization is also something I should have having information. Can I ask someone what is 200 codes, 300 codes, 400 codes? Who is interested to answer? Srideep, Venu, Sumit, Shilata, Sagar, Arun, Ambit. Interested to know what is 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 codes? Anyone? Any questions, Sagar? Sorry, I can barely hear you. No, I cannot hear you. Venugopal?
Yeah, those are the client and server errors. Like if there's any issue with the client interaction
Exactly.
with this.
HTTP codes, right? So let's
Yeah.
go. Go. HTTP or just okay. We already discussed this in the beginning, week 1. 100 cores are called as informational, 200 cores are success, 300 are redirectional. If a request is going from X to Y and if Y is rejecting, and the failure is represented with 300 codes. Client error, you're trying to access a page, either the page is down or you're trying to access an incorrect page, you will get 400 errors. 500 errors, your application is behaving mischievous. So among all, 500 codes are highly critical. Okay, if you see the 500 codes, you should wonder what's going on. All right, that is very important. And also, guys, one more point. Grafana, you really don't have to build. See, typically, okay, expense app. Okay, this is the dashboard, and under that we'll add all other visualizations. Okay, let's keep it simple. Okay, now here you are preparing things of your own, right? But even Grafana offers a lot of out of the box dashboards. Okay, so what they are, let's talk about it. So what am I talking about is Grafana offers out of the box dashboards, guys. Okay, let's see. So for example, if we are using Nginx, we can say Nginx Grafana. It offers out of the blocks. Okay, we are using Node Exporter. Okay, right now our metrics to Prometheus are being offered through the Node Exporter. Now you can go and ask what are the Node Exporter metrics that are offered. Simple. It gives you a lot of dashboards. Okay, you can import it. Okay, so Grafana dashboards. Okay, lot of dashboards are available. So I'm interested about Node Exporter because we are using Node Exporter. Node Exporter, you just type this. Okay, so Node Exporter full. So here, all you need to do is each and every graph dashboard will have an identifier. Okay, so come here. Okay, so the ID is 1860. Okay, all you need to do is go inside this. Okay, just a new dashboard. All you need to see is import. Either you can write the Grafana dashboard using JSON, that is, no one does that, or you can also copy the ID. This ID, you are telling Grafana to go and get the JSON from the ready-made stuff, and it will be coming up. And the node exporter is expense node exporter metrics. You need to select the Prometheus source. Okay, in our case, the data source is Prometheus. That's it, done. Boom, you get it. So you got most of the out of the box metrics, most of the out of box. Okay, so how much is the CPU? My CPU is really not busy, but which metrics is it showing? Okay, so you can come here, but again, there are some limitations. You really cannot customize whatever is needed. If you intend to customize, you are responsible for dealing everything. Okay, so that is one thing I would like to discuss. So here we are having some variables. So you can also create your own variables. Okay, but I don't know whether that works or not, but let me try. Okay, typically if you are going through any sort of matrix, okay, query, maybe I can say instance name, label is equal to instance underscore name, Prometheus, query type, just metric. Uh, do we really need to go through this way? Data source, label values, okay. Instance. Let me take a screenshot. Let's give it a try. Okay. If not, we'll just ignore it. That's really not our interest, by the way. We're just out of my interest. Data source and its label and values. Done. And choose label. Instance name. Okay, fine. And the metric. Or okay, unexpected token. Where did I give that? Okay, label filters. Job. And the job is just a dollar job. If I run the query, okay, that's fine. Let it be. Okay, but our intention behind is you get most of the metrics out of the box. For example, if you are interested about CPU related information, it is coming up. Now, if you are interested about, okay, what do you call? What is the shared utilization? Okay, I want to see what is a disk IO. You can get it, disk IOPS. Okay, what is the read rate operation in the last 15 minutes? You are getting everything. These are not something I have built it. Okay, I want to see what is the network traffic, what is the network throughput. You get most of it out of the blocks. Okay, I really don't have to do anything. Okay, but if I want to do the tuning, I should be very careful because see, for example, here it is giving me the information based on this one, right? So you come here and here it is not really in the options. You can also give your own details. Okay, but you're responsible for dealing everything. Okay, here they're using node. Instead of that, you can also go through the instance name, but again you need to deal everything. Okay, you have 100 and out of things, all 100 you are responsible to deal. Okay, sometimes if you're interested of getting out of the box metrics, you can. All right, any questions? Any questions, anyone? Is it interesting? The Grafana is very sweet spot. You get out of the box metrics. Okay, but again, it's not like getting what they are offering. Okay, so you should have a goal and you should be aligned towards that goal. Okay, let's go by creating our own dashboard. How much is my CPU utilization? Okay, for that we need to have a query. Okay, so here it is offering how much is CPU busy, but is it really giving me how much is my CPU utilized? No, I want what is the CPU utilization. Okay, so here it is not offering me what I want. So I want to build whatever is needed. So as a part of the latency, I want CPU utilization. Okay, how much? Okay, out of 100%, how much is my CPU utilization? Okay, I want to know that. Okay, so first build the query on Prometheus. Node, since we are using node exporter, okay, I have to go through node and underneath this, are there any CPU related metrics? And it is offering lot of things. CPU seconds total. Run. And again, inside the CPU itself, there are a lot of offerings, right? Mm. And inside that, I am interested about, are there any tags? Maybe it says instance name, right? Okay. Instance underscore name is equal to MySQL. Now it only shows the information related to MySQL. No. And for this to use, I need to enclose them in quotes. Now it shows only the MySQL. Why? What am I doing? Okay, first, let's go step by step. I am interested about, okay, so we are getting the last information right now. I am interested about the metrics in the last 5 minutes only. Now it offers the metrics in last 5 minutes of everything. And among all, I'm interested about the rate. Okay, rate gives me, okay, what is the rate of speech? What is the speed rate? Okay, so rate is another function. So which I told you functions in Prometheus. Rate is a vector, which is a two-dimensional data, calculates per second average rate of increase. Okay, it gives you the average. Now I am interested about that rate. Okay. Now it gives you the rate rather than giving you the last 5 minutes information. It gives you the average. Okay. And again, in CPU, utilize in CPU, there are a lot of options again. Are you interested about ideal CPU? Are you interested about steel? Are you interested about user? Or are you interested about the system CPU utilization? Okay, it is offering a lot. Okay, but I am interested about, okay, first I am only interested about MySQL. Okay, so how can I get that information? Is equal to, okay, I'm selecting it rather typing. Okay, done. Now I only get the information related to MySQL. Front end and back end I'm not getting. And among all these metrics, I don't care about IO weight, IRK. I'm only interested about the idle. Okay, so I can also come here and say mode is equal to idle. I'm not typing, I'm just selecting. Done. Now you got the information. Okay, idle CPU, which is 0.99 and 0.9. So 0.99%, that means 99% of your CPU is idle. So that means how much is utilized? So let's get the calculation. Okay, out of 100% CPU, 1% is utilized. 1% is, okay, 99% is idle. So if I ask you how much is utilized, what will be your answer? Anyone? Plus idle percentage plus utilization percentage. Okay, if I ask you, see 100% anytime percentage equal to 100 and 99% is left, which is not in use. Then if I want to know how much is utilized, what will be your answer? Anyone? Simple math. Anyone? What is the utilization percentage of my CPU in this case? 100%. What should I do? Minus 99% idle. Okay, that gives me 1% is a CPU utilization. Okay, so I can also get that. Okay. So this is one thing I can do, but I don't want this information in this format. Okay, instead what I want is 100. You'll get it in this percentage. All right. But if you look at this, okay, see, right now we are using T3 small instance. See for MySQL, why it is showing 2 times? Because our instances are having 2 CPUs. Okay, we are using T3.small AWS. It offers 2 CPUs and 1 gig of memory. 2 CPUs. So when you're asking what is the average CPU utilization, it is giving both CPU, first CPU and the second CPU. I don't want. Okay, I always want when I ask you what is the average CPU utilization. See, if I ask you what is your bike mileage, I don't say front wheel mileage is 100 kilometer and back wheel mileage is 80 kilometer. No, it's not the case. Okay, so you need to give the value of both the wheels, right? You have 2 CPUs. If I ask you what is the average utilization, you need to calculate both and divide it by 2 and give it, right? So I would like to go with instance name. Okay, so can I have any options like average? average by okay, average by what else options I can do? Okay, average by CPU, instance or instance name. I would like to go with instance name. Done. No. And in this case, okay, now you also need to enclose them in parentheses. Perfect. Okay, instance name is equal to MySQL and CPU utilization is equal to this. Okay, now if I make 100 minus this, which gives me the average CPU utilization. Okay, the CPU utilization is 0.62. All right, clear? Perfect. So first, so what is the CPU? Oh, copy this. Now I'd like to add it underneath my dashboard. Expense app. I would like to add a panel. How can I add a panel? Visualization. Just on the query. Okay, it tells you the CPU utilization of MySQL. Okay. Let's go with this. Okay. CPU utilization of this. Okay, now it gives you the CPU utilization of MySQL. Okay, so copy this, and I would like to, I want to give some statistics. Okay, MySQL. All right, so MySQL CPU utilization. I'm interested in gaze. Okay, so gaze. Mhm. Are there any other nice options? Again, it's all about aesthetics. Okay, how you want unit. Mm, percent 0 to 100. Threshold. If anything that is above 80, I would like to mark it as this. The rest of the color, I just want to put it in the yellow. Not yellow, green. All right. Not system availability, by the way. CPU utilization. So I can duplicate it. I can create it for front end. Front end utilization is high. Why? Why? Is my front? My front end is not really even up. Okay. That's okay. So come here, it's going to be front end. I'm gonna cover it as a front end. Next is back end. Okay, along with just the gaze, I also want the information in graphs. Okay, at any point of time, if I want to see how it's going, I want to get that information. Edit. Okay, I want graphs. Okay. So likewise, front end as well. Next is backend. Okay. This is MySQL. Okay. This is front end. Ah, all right. You can see front end, there is a distance. Okay. There is no utilization in between these two because the system is not, the system is down for certain amount of time. Okay. Come here and if you see this, okay, the center and CPU utilization, everything is showing in a intended format. Okay. So aesthetics. Okay. What you want, look and feel, how artistic you are. That's it. Okay. I'm very bad at that, by the way. But given goals, we can build whatever is needed. No big deal at all. Okay. Now we are just doing the CPU utilization. Okay. Likewise, we can also build the memory utilization as well. All right. Any questions, anyone? Again, we can also create these graphs from the UI, from the console as well. I mean, from the, what do you call, from code as well. You can do that. It's very straightforward. Okay. So Grafana dashboards creating through code is also possible. You can also be created using code. Directly creating, yeah, using code like bash stuff and needs a lot of expertise. So what we typically do is we create them on UI, we extract the code and supply it from Git. Okay, so we have created this entire thing, right? So what we can also easily do is, okay, so this entire dashboards come here. Okay, so there is an option, panel JSON. You got the entire JSON. Okay, you can copy this and you can supply it. Okay, so for example, sample.json. And then we can delete this and we can supply it from that. This is also another way of creating dashboards from the code. That can also be done. All right. Clear, guys? I can show you if you want. Okay. Mm. Okay, what we can do is system availability is there, right? So inspect, get the panel JSON. Okay, what we, just for the demo. Okay, so what we can do is inside the Grafana. Okay, well, we don't do it completely, but we'll just give it a try. Okay, so inside the tools, automation, roles, Grafana, templates, what we can do is we can say tester.json. Okay, and so from here we can supply it. So, but we also need to say copy it from elsewhere. But by the way, first we need to explore how to get that. Okay, so how to get that? Ansible, right? Ansible, Grafana, dashboard. URL, username, password, state export. Mhm. Do we really need that, by the way, to do all that? But yeah, we don't need it, guys. Okay, it's waste of time. Okay, let's not do that. Okay, we can achieve it, but I don't want to waste time in unwanted things because we have a lot more to explore. Okay, but you can use Ansible modules. Okay, we can copy this. Okay, for example, we have the code. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'll come here and delete it. Okay, and if you wanna create it, it's very simple. You want to add a panel, right? You can import it from the library. Okay, add the visualization, import from library, visualization. You can supply it from the code, guys. Okay, there is an option. There are some options to do that. Okay, just supply this, apply. You got the data. Can you see this system availability? You got it. Okay, you can always get it, guys. Okay, but I don't want to get into that. Okay, it's waste some amount of waste of effort. Okay, but it's not worth at this point of time. Okay, if time permits, we can also see that. But Grafana dashboard creation through code, that's something I don't want to take it. Okay, it's eventually screws our time. Okay, and by the way, it's not worth. Okay, but if you want to deal things at scale, this is not really a intended approach, but that's fine. We'll query the things, we'll create dashboards, and all these things we'll do. All right. So yeah, we don't drift away from goals. Okay, these are the 4 goals: traffic, latency, errors, saturation. These we'll keep in mind, we'll proceed. Okay, so at any point of time, sorry, we keep these into mind and we'll proceed accordingly. All right. Any questions, anyone? Any questions? Questions? Questions, questions, questions.
Manoj, above one should be back end, right?
Sorry?
Above 2 front ends are there, front end CPU utilization.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that.
Mm.
So here it's front end. Yeah, perfect. Okay, front end, back end, and CPU. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna build. Okay, we build today's CPU utilization. Tomorrow we'll see memory utilization, and I will start with the rest. Okay, let me take a note of it. Start from memory utilization. Start from memory utilization and rest of the 3 goals. Latency, errors, and saturation. Okay, not saturation, traffic. So I think we can sort those 3 tomorrow. Tomorrow it's going to be quite important. Okay, please make sure you clock your attendance live. Okay, and we'll take it from there. All right, that's it, guys. That's for today. If you have any questions, you can ask. If not, we are good. Venu, any questions? Rachit, Srilata, Arun, Ambit, Sridevi, Srilata, Srideep, Sailaja, Girisha, Rachit. Any questions?
Yes, Manoj, I have one question.
Yeah, please
Uh,
tell me.
so generally in organization, they uses one tool and all devices are integrated to this tool or monitored by this tool, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in DevOps case, we uses for specific devices like our related pipelines only.
First of all, I want to understand what do you mean by device here? I don't. What do you mean by
yes,
device?
actually, I want to say that we will create a monitoring server, okay, only for our monitoring pipelines, our servers, our applications that is related to this particular pipelines, we can say,
Okay, a pipeline is a
or
fashion,
not
by the way.
project we can say.
See, you are responsible for handling your own infrastructure. Let's put that way. Are we clear?
Yes,
That's it. Now, pipeline is an approach to do things manually, automated. So this is also a pipeline, right? Our infrastructure, our configuration management, everything is through pipeline, right? Agree?
no, if I say there is one prod environment, so we will create a setup for production environment monitoring tool. For development environment, we will also create a new monitoring setup.
We can,
That okay,
but typically people don't spend more observability for non-prod environments, right? See,
okay,
observability, these are nothing when it comes to New Relic, which we have in our tooling, application performance monitoring. If you are keeping all the monitoring data, it's going to be very costly. Recently, we did an audit. If the compute cost is 100,000, observability cost is $200,000. So
okay,
keeping it the monitoring data for all 4 environments or all 3 environments is waste of time, waste of money, by the way.
okay.
You can do it, but business outcome is also important, right? And we
Yes,
really
yes,
cannot justify I'm spending $100,000 for infrastructure and $300,000 for observability. So those
yes.
corrections are always needed.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah, but we can do that. Okay, nothing stops us.
Yes.
Okay, we can, if time permits, what we can do is we'll try to do everything on this UI manually. Okay, we'll get the, we'll
Yes.
extract the code, we'll supply it from Ansible. Okay, we can also do that. But if time permits, okay,
Okay, okay.
because I have introduced application performance monitoring called as New Relic. GitHub Actions is not something I have promised. I have included it. Vault, we included. GoCD is not a part of the curriculum, but we included it due to the current change of corrections. Okay, so it increases 2 to 3 weeks. So I would like to carefully talk on overcommitting certain aspects. Okay,
Okay,
something that is not going to add more value to you as a part of the curriculum, I don't want to talk more on it. That's the okay.
okay.
All right, that's it, guys, and today. I'll see you tomorrow in the session. Thank you.